So, why FPGA is better? So, the FPGA program using electrically programmable switches. The routing architectures are complex. Logic is implemented using multiple levels of lower fan-in gates and shorter time to market. The ability to reprogram in the field to fix bugs and lower non-recurring engineering cost. There are some special features of FPGA, that is clock management, PLL, DLL. It eliminates the clock skew between external clock input and on-chip clock, low skew global clock distribution network, support for various interface standard, and high-speed serial input-output, the embedded processor cores and DSP blocks. So before going to the disadvantages of FPGA, we will see the comparison between the CPLD and FPGA. The CPLD provide highest performance, but they also contain a fewer register and provide high performance, but they contain fewer register than FPGA. And FPGAs are offered in a wide density range from few thousand gates to several million gates. CPLD are ideal for a complex block with large number of input. FPGA architecture is more granular compared to CPLD, making it suitable for the design with large number of simple block with few number of inputs. The CPLDs can implement large functions in one pass through logic array. FPGA can't implement a large functions in one pass through the logic array. The CPLD's resources are partitioned into a logic block, imposing a restrictions on how they may be used. and FPGAs contain an array of logic cells and are less partitioned than CPLD. The number of input-output pins offered by the CPLD are significantly higher. Number of input-output pins offered on the FPGA are less than CPLD. Also, any design can fit into 100K gate CPLD, that is space required on silicon is less. A space design require 150K gate FPGA, that is space required on silicon is more. The CPLD based design needs a less board space, board layout complexity, cost and bill of material than FPGA. An FPGA based design need an increased board space, board layout complexity, cost and bill of material. CPLD doesn't require any memory store configuration program. FPGA invariably require one or more configurable configuration PROM depending on size of FPGA used. The CPLD with their coarse grain architecture and dedicated routing offer the advantage of predictable timing and end of use, and due to the granular architecture and segmented routing of FPGA, it is difficult to predict the speed performance of a design until it is targeted in the software. The CPLD consume more power than FPGA device, and FPGA consume less power than CPLD. Then process technologies are EPROM, EEPROM and flash in CPLD. And in FPGA the process technologies are SRAM, anti-fuse and EEPROM. Then applications of CPLD bus interface, complex state machine and fast memory interface, wide detector, PAL device integration. The FPGA application logic consolidation, board integration replaces absolute device, simple state machine, complex controller interfaces. Then next is the comparison of SRAM and anti-fuse FPGA. So SRAM in SRAM FPGA, the physical dimension of an SRAM cell are of the order of magnitude larger than those of anti-fuse element, and anti-fuse element takes less space compared to SRAM cell. These elements can be placed very densely. The SRAM FPGA can be reprogrammed. Once programmed, an anti-fuse element cannot be erased or reprogrammed. SRAM cells are volatile, they are anti-fuse FPGA are non-volatile. SRAM based FPGA typically use a larger logic cell with a fewer input and output, and anti-fuse have more input and output with small number of gates in logic cell. Then SRAM, it has a standard fabrication process, anti-fuse a complex fabrication process. There are some disadvantages of FPGA. Before going to there are some advantages of FPGA. That is, these are very fast custom logic, massively parallel operation, much faster than DSP engine, faster than microcontroller and microprocessor, more flexible than dedicated chipsets, more affordable and less risky than ASIC. It allows unlimited product differentiation, reprogrammable at any time, no NRE minimum order cost or inventory risk in design and manufacturing after installation. Then there are some disadvantages of FPGA. The FPGA are generally slower than their application specific integrated circuit, that is ASIC. It can't handle as complex a design and draw more power. Before going to synthesis, the cost of the FPGA design is much lower than that of an ASIC, and it has provided ASIC is not produced in large number. The changes in the design are also much easier with FPGA, and the time to market is much shorter than the ASIC. There are some applications of FPGA, that is, FPGA have gained a rapid acceptance FPGA have gained rapid acceptance and growth over the past decade because they can be applied to a very wide range of applications. A list of typical typical applications include a random logic, integrated multiple SPLD, device controller, communication, encoding and filtering, small to medium size system with SRAM block, and many more. The other interesting applications of FPGA are prototyping, of designs later to be implemented in gate array, and also emulation of the entire large hardware system. Another promising area of FPGA application is that another promising area of FPGA application which is only beginning to be developed is the usage of FPGA as a custom computing machines. This involves using programmable parts to execute a software rather than compiling the software for execution on a regular CPU. When designs are mapped into the CPLD, a piece of design often mapped naturally to the SPLD like blocks. However, design mapped into FPGA are broken up into the logic block sized pieces and distributed through an area of FPGA. So depending on the FPGA's interconnect structure, there may be a various delays associated with the interconnections between these logic blocks. Thus, FPGA performance often depends more upon how CAD tools map circuit into the chip than in the case for CPLD. Next is synthesis. So synthesis, once the design has been entered, it must be synthesized. The process of synthesis involves converting the VHDL source file into a netlist. Netlist is simply a list of logical elements, things that combine, change, or store a digital signal, and a list of connections describing how these elements are wired together. Netlist can be platform independent, that is, it can target any architecture from any vendor. Many development environments provide additional support tools such as a register transfer level, that is RTL, viewers and or netlist viewers. The electronic design interchange format is more widely accepted format. So basic synthesis process is here: initial HDL description, technology dependent, the RTL process, logic level, gate level, and final HDL description. Optimization, final HDL description, ASIC and PLD. So FPGA expresses advantages, disadvantages, advantages now. Disadvantages: it is slow, run only on the Windows. Vendor is Synopsys, status Synopsys has discontinued. Then Xilinx, these are the different synthesis tools: FPGA Express, Xilinx synthesis tool, and Leonardo Spectrum and Simplify. Then simulation, these are the steps used while programming. Once the hardware design entry is completed, either using a schematic or HDL, we want to simulate design on computer to gain the confidence that it work correctly. So simulation require a form of stimulus to provide to the input of FPGA design, and then an FPGA simulator software can determine the corresponding FPGA output. So there are two ways that we can create the simulation stimulus: using an interactive waveform editor, using a test bench. A test bench is one or more modules that connect design the unit under test with internally generated stimulus or stimulus from a file to drive the input of the UUT, and it may collect and process the output of UUT. After each module is written, it should be simulated. Usually, the low-level modes are relatively simple and the test bench quick and easy to write. Once simulated, the designer has a confidence to move to the next module so that when the lower level models are combined, as a general rule, the designer performance should not be determined using a simulation. There are four primary locations for running simulation: behavioral simulation, netlist simulation, post map simulation, and post implementation or post place or route simulation. Then here is the data flow, that is design, entry, synthesis, and after synthesis, implementation and simulation. So in implementation, translate, map, place, route, and then bit stream generation. That is, here process is given, that how programming works. Then implementation, it means that the process of converting one or more netlist into an FPGA specific pattern. This process is broken down into three basic substeps, that is transition, mapping, and place and route. And translate, the job of the translator is to collect all the netlist into one large netlist and verify the constraints mapped to signals. Then map is, the traditional role of the mapper is to compare the resources specified in the signals signal grand netlist produced by the translate stage against the resource in the targeted FPGA. Then place and route, it describes several processes where the netlist elements are physically placed and mapped to the FPGA physical resources to create a file that can be downloaded in the FPGA chip. Then available place and route tools are Xilinx IC, Ultra Quartus 2, and the final is bit stream generation. So this is the final step, which is converting the place and routed design into a format that FPGA will understand. This can be generated so that they can be directly loaded into an FPGA using via JTAG or formatted for a parallel or serial PROM, that is programmable read only memory. So this is the whole process of synthesis and simulation. Thank you.